What is up, everybody? We are just under 2 hours away from kickoff. San Francisco 49ers, Las Vegas Raiders, and some interesting news has come out today. One of them I made a video about. Maybe you saw it. Ricky Pearsall, we'll discuss that a little bit. And then Brandon Aiyuk has made the trip to Vegas. What does that mean, if anything? So there's some things to talk about. Link is also pinned to the top of the chat. I know it's very late notice, but if you are free and you would like to call in, link is there for you to do so. Show's a lot more fun and will last a lot longer if you do. But if not, totally understand. No big deal. We'll get to it, and we'll get to it all next. All right. Welcome back to Last Second Sports, where we are giving you our take down to the last second. And it's a little bit of a preview show. 49ers Raiders kickoff just under 2 hours. And this will be the last look at the San Francisco 49ers before you see them take center stage Monday Night Football opening week in just about 2 weeks. It's absolutely crazy to think about. But we are here, folks. 49ers season is around the corner. Whether you think they're ready or not, they better be ready. And we're going to see, hopefully, a lot of the starters tonight. We'll be able to see what they look like, how ready they are. You know, it's one thing to talk about the backups and can they stop the run and how good is the offensive line looking and all the other things. But when the starters are out there, it's a different story. And we should get a nice little glimpse into the San Francisco 49ers tonight for the first time / last time before the regular season kicks off. So hopefully you all are very ready for this game, excited. And for you East Coasters like me, it's a late one. It is a late one. So there's definitely no chance that I'm coming on at 1 a.m. and doing a post game or anything like that. Now, if it was regular season, I would absolutely do it for the regular season, but not a preseason game. I'm excited about the game, and that's why I'm doing a pregame show, but not excited enough to be on at 1 a.m. doing a postgame show. That being said, I hope you guys are all having a fantastic evening. No, I'm not going to the Monday night game, Jesus. I will be here watching it comfortably. The only game so far that I have tickets to for sure, 49ers and Rams in Los Angeles. Have to check out SoFi Stadium. And then I have the 49ers Bucks. I have a third game that I want to go to. I want to go to the Bills game in Buffalo. I do want to take in that experience, but I have not bought tickets to that yet, mainly because I can't really find anybody to go to Buffalo with me. And probably because it's going to be cold as hell that time of year. And I totally understand. I think it's a December game, if I remember correctly. So I get it. But I'm sure there's a third game I'll go to. And then assuming the 49ers in the playoffs, which I think they definitely will be, if they can make it to another NFC championship, I'll be there. No matter where it's at, whether it's Detroit, whether it's Santa Clara, what have you, I plan on going to another NFC championship. Let's just say this, in the Shanahan era, been to like 7 or so games. I'm undefeated, including the NFC Championship. So you should probably want me there if they make it. No, you know what? It's funny, Jared, and I'm not saying that you're saying this, but a lot of people that aren't familiar with Florida, when they call me up, they're like, "Hey, you know, I'm coming to Florida." I'm like, "Oh, great. Where are you going?" They're like, "I'm going to be in Miami." I'm like, "Cool." They're like, "So we should meet up." I'm like, "That's a 5.5 hour drive." Absolutely not. Florida's a very big state. I imagine that's like saying that, I don't know, San Diego to Los Angeles. Is that far enough? All I know is Tampa to Miami. It's a deep drive. And I've made that drive twice now. I like people, but I'm not doing it for a day trip. I'm just not going to do it. So it's a big state. It's definitely a big state. 49ers Dolphins. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You know what? I do have to say though, I wasn't at the Super Bowl, so can't count this as a loss for me, but I did go to Miami when the 49ers were in Miami for that Super Bowl 2019. And I was there to take in all the festivities and all that. I wasn't that impressed with Miami. And I kind of have a bad taste in the fact that they lost while I was there. So I don't know. Not too fond of Miami. There is that. All right, y'all. So I'm sure you've heard about the Ricky Pearsall news. We'll start bad and then we'll work our way up to what I believe is really good news. So Ricky Pearsall came out, I think it was last night. Mike Silver was on either 95.7 or one of the other local radio shows in San Francisco. And he just kind of let it slip that not only does Ricky Pearsall have a shoulder injury, which we're all very aware of, we know that he had this injury during OTAs. We know that he's now got this injury. They were hoping he'd be back for practice this week and be able to play. He's been unable to practice this week. He's obviously not playing tonight. We know all of those things. However, what we didn't know is what he let slip in that interview, which is the 49ers also knew about a Pearsall shoulder injury, and they knew about it during the draft process. So I made a short video about it. Some people, took it, received it well. Other people got hung up on things that didn't matter. Like I said, he was 25. He's 23, but he's going to be 24 the day the season starts. When I said 25, I meant he was playing this season at 25. I was off by a year. But my main point still remains, which is my main issue with drafting Ricky Pearsall from the beginning had nothing to do with his talent level. It had to do with what his skill set is, his personal skill set, and how does it fit with this team? And does his age timeline fit with what the 49ers need? And I felt like neither of those were a good match. When I look at Ricky Pearsall, again, in that video, I said he was 25. I meant 24. Day one, season starts. I believe that's his birthday. 24 years old. So when his 5 years are up, and we're looking at a situation where he's going to look to get a second contract with the San Francisco 49ers, the first game he plays of that second contract, regardless of where it comes from, he would be 29 years old. BA right now is 26. First day of his second contract, which would kick in next year, he'll be 27 years old, just turning 27 in March that same year. So we're talking about a 2-year difference. Imagine if BA was 28 right now and we knew he was 29. We love BA and BA's produced at a very high level. Would you, for those of you that are wanting BA to come back, and I'm one of them, would you be as gung-ho about giving BA all that money, knowing that he's going to be 29 years old the first time he plays on that contract? Would you be gung-ho about giving him a 4-year deal? Probably not, right? I mean, I think age factors in. A 29-year-old BA is very different than a 27-year-old BA. I wouldn't be excited about giving him a 4-year deal. I don't think the 49ers are likely going to give Ricky Pearsall a 4-year deal. And that was my issue because he'll be 29. So the timeline is, well, if he's not going to produce in year one, understandable. He's a rookie. They've got good receivers. And you're not likely to get a second contract. Why would I be excited about drafting a player who's only going to give you best probably 4 years in round one? Why would I be excited about that? Okay, well, then let's look at his skill set. Very good player, by the way. I'm not saying at all he's not a good player. A good prospect. I don't know what he is in the NFL, but he was a very good prospect. But the one thing he struggles with is exactly what the 49ers are trying to rectify, which is beating press man. You play against teams that have good press man corners. Most of their receivers can't get open. You can throw Ricky Pearsall into that lump of wide receivers that struggle with that. So for those reasons, I wasn't big on the Pearsall pick. Now, we know he's injured. I don't think I've said anything like pointing to his injury at all and said, "Oh, see, told you, Ricky Pearsall's injured." I knew I was right because he didn't have an injury issue in college. That didn't factor into any of my thoughts. And I'm certainly not going to celebrate an injury of any player, especially a player on the 49ers, right? Like that would be crazy. So not once have I said, "Oh, I'm right because he's injured." I've just gone off of what I thought about him as a prospect. But now that we know that there's a real possibility that he had this shoulder injury prior to the draft, and that the 49ers also knew, adding in all the other things that I've already talked about, how can you not criticize the 49ers for this pick? That's not saying that Ricky Pearsall still can't be a good player for the next 4 years and produce at a high level. But how can you not be critical? I mean, isn't this exactly what they did with Javon Kinlaw that we were all so frustrated with? So yeah, that was the point of it. For those of you that didn't know, sounds like the 49ers knew that Ricky Pearsall had a shoulder injury. They knew it could be a long-term thing. And here we are. He hasn't been able to stay healthy enough to put together 3-4 practices in a row. Hasn't yet stepped on the field. And we'll see. We'll see how his career goes, but not a great start. Not a great start. But also, another thing, not his fault. Not mad at Ricky at all. Ricky is not to be blamed for this. Ricky didn't draft himself. Ricky doesn't want to be injured. Right? So even if he does end up being a bust, which we're way too early for that, even if he ends up being a bust, stop being mad at the player for being a bust. Like, especially if you know and the organization knew he had an injury going into the process. At what point do you just start blaming the front office for a bad pick instead of hating the player? They don't want to go through all this, man. They don't want to suck. They don't want to be injured. Nobody wishes for that. It'd be like you waking up in the morning and being like, "Hey, really today, I want nothing more than to underachieve." Like, "Oh, it's a great day to underachieve, man. Oh, I hope I don't live up to expectations." Nobody says that. So these players are exactly the same. Don't be mad at the player. Be mad at the organization for making a dumb pick. We're not there yet, but if it gets there, please don't hate on Ricky Pearsall. He doesn't deserve it. He's already frustrated with the way his career is going at that point. So there is that. Before we get to the BA news, it looks like I've got somebody waiting backstage. Terry 49er. For those of you that want to call in, link is pinned to the top of the chat. Feel free to do so. All right, we'll get to Terry 49er here. See what he's got to say. What's up, Terry 49er?
What's up, my man?
How you doing?
Good, man. How about you?
I'm doing really good, man.
You ready for this preseason game?
Hell yeah. Yes. It's like the closest thing we're going to get to actual 49er football before 49er football kicks off in about 2 weeks. So yes, I'm very excited for tonight's game.
The last preseason game is like the Thursday of preseason games. Like, you can't wait to get to Friday, and Friday's just like week 1. So
exactly.
Anyway, I wanted to share some thoughts. I remember the first press conference that Kyle and John had after whatchamacallit, you could say
the draft.
The draft, I guess. I would say the draft. I don't know which one it was. I don't think it was after the draft. It was. I think it was. Crap. I'm sorry, man. I'm forgetting it.
What was the context? And I'll tell you if I remember.
Well, it was. They were talking about Aiyuk, and I wanted to share some thoughts because John kind of looked bothered, dude. John Lynch looked really, really bothered, and it's crazy because, during the offseason, I didn't watch a lot of content pertaining to any beat writers or anything.
Mhm.
or even just guys like you and stuff like that. But nobody ever talked about his demeanor, and it's crazy because his demeanor's been a huge topic of conversation for the past couple of years, and nobody brought this up, dude.
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah,
ever brought
fair,
it up, dude.
fair.
It's crazy to me because he genuinely was just like, "Stop asking me about this. I don't want to talk about it." He looked like he was sick of the situation, you know. I don't know, man. It was crazy to me. I just wanted to bring this to you. I'm not sure if you've talked about it. I'm sorry if you have.
Was
Uh,
this a recent one, or was this like a couple months ago type
this
thing?
is a couple months ago. I mean,
I think I know which one you're talking about. I'm trying to remember if it was like the state of the franchise or what exactly it was.
no. It wasn't the
But
state of the
yeah.
franchise.
It was
Um,
it was him and Kyle sitting down though together, right?
yeah, him and Kyle were sitting down together, and you
I
know,
don't remember what it was.
yeah. I'm
I
sorry,
think it
man.
was the
I
same
wish I
one.
had it up.
I think it was the same one that Shanahan said something snarky to Grant. Grant asked him a question and he was super snarky to Grant about it. And
Yes, yes.
I
He
forget
was
what the
like,
details were.
oh my, yes. He was like, knowing you, that's probably
Yeah,
not
yeah,
exactly what I
yeah,
said.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
that
yeah,
one, bro.
yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah,
it
yeah,
was that one. First of all, that was
yeah.
hilarious. But but I mean, I don't know, man. He literally looked like he was just done with the situation. And this was back in like July, or excuse me, this is probably early July, late June. And I'm like, dude, you have like another month and a half, 2 months left before you really start to feel this. And I think
Mm,
Larry had brought it up today on his podcast where he's like, this is a PR nightmare because if you trade him to Pittsburgh, or if you trade him to what's the name, Washington, you're gonna get
mm-hmm.
chewed out by the fans because Ricky Pearsall's not good. And I know you talked about him extensively before I got in here, or before you brought me up, and but it's also like, dude, like I understand why they don't want to pay him so much because 32, 33, 34 million is a lot for a freaking receiver. I get
Yeah.
it. He's the best receiver on the team. I get it. He's the fourth option and he's producing at a high efficiency. I get it. He's probably the best run blocker, not just on the team, but probably in the league in terms of wide receiver goes. But like, dude, that's a lot of freaking money. It's a lot of money. And the thing that kind of annoys me is the fact that I'm going to be real with you. I don't think he's going to be 100% before when he comes in because training camp is necessary. Whatchamacallit, preseason is necessary. I mean, it happened last year with Nick Bosa. It happened the year before that with Debo, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And what if it happens this year again? What if, he has only 20 catches in the first 8 games? And instead of it being like, oh, he's not getting open, it's like, hey, Kyle's not, scheming for me. So it's just, I mean, yeah, dude,
Well,
it's
Terry, I think we should probably discuss that in general with 3 49ers stars. I mean, it's not just BA. We saw what it did to Bosa. We saw what it did to Debo the year prior. We've heard Shanahan talk about how important he thinks all these practices are. But the
mhm,
49ers have a good chance of it happening to at least one of their stars this year, whether it's BA, Trent Williams,
mhm,
or CMC. All of them have been
mhm,
out, and none of them are going to be ready until like right before the beginning of the season or week one, like going into that
yeah,
week. So, yeah, I mean,
exactly.
there's a big chance that at least one of those guys is not going to be performing near their optimum level. So, that's something that really hasn't been discussed at a big, wide level either.
Yeah, yeah. I think my time's running out, so I did just want to bring up one last thing, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Health. I mean, we were extremely lucky last year and the year before. I mean, dude, anything can happen. I was kind of scared for this first week one game because I was concerned. I didn't know if it was going to be in MetLife Stadium or if it was going to be in San Francisco. Because if it was in MetLife Stadium, kiss at least two
Oh, dude,
stars.
yeah.
Goodbye for the
Yes.
season. I'm sorry, kiss at least two stars. Goodbye for the season.
Yeah,
And if you
it's
lose any one of like our top 9 players, it's no Super Bowl. So, so
hey,
all
the good
right, bro.
news is it's in Santa Clara, so we're good to go. We're good to go.
Yep.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
You too, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, later. I've never heard from Terry Ford. I don't even know if I've ever, I mean, excuse me, maybe I've seen you in the chat. Maybe I've overlooked it, but really appreciate you calling in, man. I liked your energy. And I appreciate you supporting. Dave Barclay says 222 people watching and 40 likes. Let's help Jess out. Yeah, man. And in fact, we have 232 watching on Twitter. You're missing out on the party. It's way more fun over on YouTube. Way more fun over on YouTube. You get to see all the messages. You can call in if you want. When you post a message on Twitter, it's usually hit or miss. Most of the time, I don't get to see it. I don't get to pull it up on screen like I can here with Tommy's. So, yeah, listen, there's a lot more fun over on YouTube. So, check it out. Last Second Sports. Way better over here. I think the people in YouTube will definitely vouch for that. All right, let's talk about real quick tonight's game and the storyline going into it. As much as we're done with the BA thing, and trust me, I'm done with the BA thing, some really good news. He's traveled with the team and he is in Vegas. He's in Vegas. So, I mean, you can take that for what it is. I highly doubt that a player who is not planning on being with the team would travel with that team to their final preseason game. I get he was in the house last week. He was up in the stands, but that was a home game. Number one, that was a home game. This is not. And he's decided to travel with the team. So I think that's a really good sign. And I also want to say this. A lot of people have grasped onto the straws of the Commanders. And they're kind of trying to put the pieces together. And they're like, well, listen, BA would love to be a Commander. We know that his best friend's the quarterback over there. We know that their new GM, Adam Peters, came from the 49ers. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Why wouldn't he want Brandon Aiyuk, right? And now they've traded this receiver in Jahan Dotson. They just might throw their name in the ring again. They might throw their hat in the ring again and be interested in Brandon Aiyuk. Now, we know that they did have discussions with the 49ers a while back. This was when the 49ers were trying to drum up as much interest as possible a couple weeks ago. And they talked to the Commanders. The Commanders were not willing to give up Terry McLaurin. They were not willing to give up a first-round pick. Duh. Why would they? For BA. Why would you give up McLaurin and like a third or a fourth or a second for BA and then pay BA? That doesn't make any sense. And a first-round pick, I just don't see it happening. But the Jahan Dotson thing is like what set this all in motion. And I'll just say this. I've got the text. Share the text on Twitter. People really need to see it. But I was texted last Friday, so a week ago, that Jahan Dotson, it was early in the process, but Jahan Dotson might be a Charger. At that time, they were shopping Jahan Dotson. Nobody talked about it. It wasn't like big news or anything like that, but they were shopping Jahan Dotson, and they thought the landing spot for him could be the Chargers. He ended up going to the Eagles. My point is not that he didn't go to the Chargers or anything like that. My point is that they've been shopping Jahan Dotson. Like that's been going on minimum for a week. It has nothing to do with Brandon Aiyuk. Literally nothing. Now, I'm not saying that they couldn't jump back in if something crazy happens here. I mean, maybe the 49ers reach out and they're like, okay, like we don't need a first or McLaurin. We'll take a second and a fourth. All right, well, maybe now we're cooking. But the Commanders aren't proactively trying to get Brandon Aiyuk. Jahan Dotson fell out of favor with that organization, period. They were moving on from him no matter what. That's just the way that it is. This happens all the time, by the way. You get a new regime that didn't draft a player. They're not tied to a player. They don't want him on the team anymore. For whatever reason, they move on. Happens all the time. And that's what happened with Dotson. Has nothing to do with Brandon Aiyuk or the San Francisco 49ers. And everybody that's talked about it, by the way, including, what is it? PFT or whatever it is. What's his name? Not Garofolo. He's on there with Sims. Anyways, he put out an article, very short article. And a lot of people took that and ran with it. They're like, oh, see, Washington's going to be interested. All he was doing was suggesting that they might be interested based off of what had just unfolded. That was it. It was simply an opinion piece. So I'll believe it when I see it. Had nothing to do with BA. So That's that. Dazza says, I think BA has always wanted to be with the 49ers. He definitely wanted a big pay raise, but mostly I think he just wanted respect and love, particularly from Kyle. Yeah, I think that everything goes into it. I think that he wants to be a true number one receiver. I think he wants to play for a competitive team, which, by the way, the 49ers check both of these boxes, right? The 49ers, we know are going to be competitive. The 49ers, we know in a year or two, he's going to be the number one target. Everybody else is aging. So just stick around. You'll be that guy. And he wants to get paid. And the 49ers, up until this point, haven't been willing to check that box. It sounds like they're more willing than ever to check said box. So they meet each criteria. Why not stay a 49er? Makes sense to me. Dave Barclay says, I second what Dazza said, but for $2. All right, fair enough. All right, I got a couple people backstage. Got Niner Gang. I got Jose. I also have TC, but his devices are not connected. So I'm going to kick him from the studio. TC, try to get back in, see if that works. We'll go to Niner Gang. Then we'll go to Jose. What's up, Niner Gang?
Jesse, what's going on, man? Long time no see, my brother.
It's been a while. How you been, man?
Oh, man, just trying to get through this hot old summer out here in Cali, killing me.
I feel it.
I'm
I
sure
feel it. I feel it.
in Florida out there. So, man, how's life going for you, brother, with all this fancy 49er talk?
Good, man. Good. I'm just ready for the season to start because at that point, like all the, I don't want to say drama. It's definitely been some drama, but all the opinions, all the drama, I guess, none of that matters anymore. It's like the team's playing and they're either winning or they're losing, and we're having real conversations based off of what's happening on the field. And that's what I want to have. I don't know if anybody's paid attention. I don't know if you care. It doesn't really matter. But if you've noticed the last couple weeks, I've been very sporadic with my streaming. And it's like, what is there to talk about? What am I just going to get on here every day and talk about the non-news, breaking news about BA and what's changed? Like, my opinion hasn't changed. I've said for months that I believe he's going to be a 49er, that he's going to be extended and he'll be in the uniform week 1. So am I just going to reiterate that time after time and then talk about the minor shift in the change? It's like, no, I'm done with narrative talk. I want football talk. And that's what this is. And that's what we're going to be talking about soon, is what is happening on the field and what does it mean for a team that's trying to win a Super Bowl. That's what I care about.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, my brother, because that's exactly what I'd like to talk about.
All right, let's do it.
Week 1 against the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
How you think Brock's coming out? Is he going to be a little rusty? You think he's going to come out hitting on all 8? What do you think? How do you think he's going to come out looking? Just not even just your gut feeling, a real gut feeling. Let's forget about training camp, practice, all that stuff, because we all seen what happened last year, whatever. What's your gut feeling, man? Let's work off of that right now.
I think Brock might look shaky at times, but I don't think it's because he's rusty. I think Brock's going to be as prepared as ever. The Jets defense is really good. Let's just be real with that. And I've said it, and I believe this still. I'm not buying the Jets brand as far as being a real Super Bowl contender, but that's not because their defense isn't good. Their defense can cause some problems. Defenses generally are ahead of the offenses early in seasons, early in off seasons. We hear about it all the time. You get to training camp practices and it's like, oh, the offense can't move the ball. Well, the defense is always ahead of the offense. Seasons usually start out that way as well. I have a feeling that it's going to be a low-scoring game. 49ers will come away with it. Brock might look a little shaky at times and people might make a big deal out of it. I don't think that's because Brock's playing bad or he's not ready. I just think he's facing a real good defense. I think week 2, he'll come out firing all cylinders and he'll look amazing. So,
well, in theory, we can kind of say that the Jets are somewhat similar built, kind of how the Niners are, right? Robert Saleh.
Yeah.
Jets' weakness is probably their O-line. I would say would probably be their biggest weakness because they got pretty good receivers. We don't know what Aaron Rodgers is going to look like, but to your point, we do know they have a good defense. So, yeah, I think that's going to be the outcome of it, man. And but with that being said, it could be a really, really long day for Brock if we don't have Brandon and he ain't ready. and we're not out there and they go man coverage on us, it could be a really, really long day. And then what's really crazy to me is I swear John Lynch or Kyle Shanahan just called Jalen Moore the starting left tackle in an interview. And I'm
It
like,
was. I heard what you heard. I heard what you heard. So the phrasing was he was out there because they were asking about Brock not playing with starters, and he said we weren't worried about Brock not being able to protect himself or not being protected. He was out there with what could be both starting tackles, could be, and likely at least one starting guard in the starting center. So I think what he was talking about was Pooney. Obviously, you've got Brendel, you've got McKivitz, and the could be is more if Trent Williams isn't back. So he chose his words carefully. I think he chose his words carefully there for the first time. By the way, he normally doesn't.
yeah. Last thing, man, I'll let you go is Hassan Reddick. He's on his holdout.
Mm-hmm.
Think what's your gut feeling about him, because he's a wrecking ball, man. He's a wrecking ball, and I would have to say, I mean, I know Brock's a strong-minded guy, but you ain't really done much to your offensive line since then, and you're going up against the guy that ended your short career stint at that moment, in the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
What do you think about that whole entirety in the situation?
Well, listen, I mean, if Hassan Reddick's still holding out, that's great news for the 49ers, because Hassan Reddick, I think you add him to what's already a really good pass rush, and next to a player like Quinnen Williams, who's an absolute wrecking ball on an already good defense. Yeah, that makes them even more formidable. I think they're much easier to deal with if they don't have a pure speed rusher in Hassan Reddick. So hopefully he doesn't play. I would love that. But yeah, if he does play, I don't look at it as like this hump that they've got to get over. Remember, they did face the Eagles last year. They did face Hassan Reddick already. So mentally, if there was any hurdle for Brock to get over, he would have done so already. Really, if there's a hurdle to get over, it's got to be Aaron Rodgers, who's going to be looking across at Floyd, who was the one that injured him last year, right? So if there's a mental hurdle to get over, I would think it would be Rodgers with Floyd. I don't think he has one either, but if there was, that would be it.
There you go, brother. Hey, I like it, man. Well,
So
all I gotta say, brother, is it's always great talking to you, Jess, and
you too,
I'll
man.
catch you on the next one, brother, and let's go. Bang bang Niner game. The season's coming.
Yes, sir. Let's do it. All right, brother. Have a good one. Stay blessed, man. Thank you. Thank you for calling in as always. All right, we're gonna go to Jose, and then we're gonna go to TC.
Hey,
What's up, Jose?
just first off, I'm a Seahawks fan. Yes, sorry, not sorry. I found from the Hawks Nest, and to be honest,
Oh, you saw me on Hawks Nest.
yeah.
Okay.
And
Right on.
To be honest, I'm tired of hearing about VA, and I can imagine you're tired of talking about him every time.
Yeah, brother. Listen, if you're tired of hearing about it, we're definitely tired of talking about it. So as a Seahawks fan, you being over it, we're even more over it. Trust me.
So instead, I'm going to ask you about the next, in my opinion, bigger domino to fall. And that's Trent Williams. What's going on with you? And how do you feel about your offensive line if, God forbid, something were to happen to him during the season? Because I think he will be back, but the likelihood for injury is pretty strong.
Yeah, listen, I mean, as well as I do, Trent Williams might be one of the best offensive line. I mean, it might be the best offensive lineman in the league, and he's certainly still one of the best, even if it's declined a little bit. And you're right. I mean, 49er fans, we've been consumed with this Brandon Aiyuk situation, no doubt about it. But Trent Williams is the bigger domino to fall. Completely agree with you there. And I think you would agree that if Trent Williams isn't on this team, there's not really anybody along the offensive line that you would be worried about as a Seahawks fan.
Oh, no. I'd be more scared of Christian McCaffrey than anyone on your line.
Yeah, for sure. And I'd be scared at what Christian McCaffrey looks like without Trent Williams on the O-line. Let me tell you that.
Yes. So how do you feel about the backup left tackle if Trent doesn't come back or if something happens?
Jalen Moore, nobody feels good about him. Here's the thing about him, Jose. So he was drafted by the 49ers to play guard initially. They've only really worked him in at tackle, and when he's played, it's been really, really bad. So if he's the left tackle, the 49ers, I think, are in big time trouble.
Okay, cool. One more thing before I go.
Mm-hmm.
Do you mind if I plug my YouTube channel?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
I have a YouTube channel, Sports Talk with Jose Rodriguez. It's basically me talking football, basketball, boxing, maybe some entertainment stuff here and there. I will be live with the Hawks next time Monday at 2 p.m. Pacific, so look out for that. And Jesse, you're always more than welcome, man.
Look at that. I'm subscribing right now. Sports Talk with Jose Rodriguez. Love it.
You're more than welcome, man.
Thank you, Jose. I appreciate you for supporting, man. Good luck to your Seahawks, but not too much good luck. Not too much good luck.
Sam, God bless. Do me a favor and beat the Rams.
All right, brother. Have a good one. God bless. Not too much good luck to your Seahawks, bro. Not too much. Definitely. I will subscribe to your channel. I already did. Appreciate you, man. And you're an inspiration. You are an inspiration. You're working through some stuff, man. And that's, I love to see people chasing their dreams. And thank you, man. Thank you so much for supporting. I love nothing but to support you back. And hopefully people in the chat here support Jose as well on his journey. Call in anytime, brother. Good luck to your Seahawks, but not too much good luck, as I said. All right. Yeah, it was a good caller. Good poignant questions. Love it, man. I love it. So, all right. We've got TC and then we got Fig 909er. Let's see what they're rapping about. What's up, TC?
Jesse, what's up, bro? You got me?
I got you, man. I got you.
Yes, sir. We all clear, man. It's been a minute, man. I had to tap in with the homie. How you been, bro? You know, I've been watching y'all. I like that round table with you, Coach, Ryan, and Grant. You know, bro, y'all my favorite dudes, bro.
Bro, we're so excited about that round table. For those of you that haven't caught it, check it out on Grant's channel. We're going to be rotating channels throughout the year. It's going to be, as TC said, myself, Coach, Ryan, and Grant. So it's going to be a lot of fun this year for sure. We're looking forward to it.
Fire, man. Because it's hard to find, you know, quote unquote Niner media, you know, or content creators, bro, that's going to keep it 100 and not sugarcoat it and kiss butts and do all that, bro. You know what I mean? You got to be honest, bro. We ain't going to go down that road. I'll call, bro, because, you know what, right? I mean, you see me in the chat, maybe, Jesse, bro. Like, I'm with BA on this situation, bro. I'm not with, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I definitely see you in the chat. Yeah, for sure. I see you.
Like, yeah, bro. Like, I'm not with it. I know it's, but I'm not with the team on this, bro. I'm not. I'm with BA, bro. And like that other caller said, it's about his respect, bro. Like, Kyle, I did everything you asked me to, bro. You put me in a doghouse when I first got here. Then I turned it around and did everything you asked me to do: block, run routes, not complain, back up this quarterback, and do all of that, bro. And you want to play with my money and act like I'm just some regular dude? No, bro. I'm raising heck, and I haven't forgot about how you play with other people's money, how you cut Armstead, how you drafted Lance in here, and he was supposed to be the guy, but then you turned your back on him, bro. Like, how you did Jimmy, whether people want to feel about Jimmy or not, bro, you was never backing up none of your quarterbacks. The teammates see this, and BA, honestly, is the first person that's showing it. Like, I don't care about Kyle, bro. I feel some type of way, and I'm gonna show it. And that's why a lot of the fan base is thrown off by it because everybody is super faithful and super like Niner giggy that they don't want to. They think that Kyle and John Parag and his team do no wrong. And I'm not getting at Niner fans because everybody's gonna fan how they fan, bro. But
For sure.
I like to be honest. I like to be honest, Jesse, and I like to see it from the other point. And it's not like in your. Makes sound like it's in your feelings, but it's not, bro. It's being honest. And everybody's quick to say, "Oh, you're in your feelings when you're being honest." No, bro, that's being honest about these dudes, bro. And I felt what you said, bro, the other night when you said, "I don't think this team and Kyle will win the Super Bowl." I honestly can say I agree with that, bro. Like being successful, yeah, but winning that ring, we're not gonna get it done with this dude, bro. We're gonna have to move on and get somebody else in, bro, and it might have to shake that way. But I hate to say that, dog. But I'm not trying to be doom and gloom on the Niner game, bro. But
Yeah,
I
I
couldn't
mean,
wait to get
listen,
on and spit my mind, Jesse.
I get it, bro. I get it. And I was asked the question on the round table and I just gave my honest opinion, but I want to be wrong. Like, I think
Me too. Me too.
I enjoy just the last time we watched the Super Bowl. I was the same age as my youngest son now. Like, hell no, man. Like, I was 10 years old that I was lucky enough to be around. Half these guys in the chat, maybe yourself included, weren't even old enough or weren't even born when the 49ers won a Super Bowl. Like, I feel bad for those that haven't even been a part of it. I would love nothing more than for this fan base to feel the jubilation that comes with winning a freaking ring and how awesome that is. I mean, this is the team that I grew up rooting for because of my father, God rest his soul. Like, I would love nothing more than for this team to win a Super Bowl, but I just feel like they've had their chances, man, and it's over. Like, that's the way that I feel. I hope I'm wrong. We'll see, man. But yeah, it doesn't feel like that window is wide open anymore. I think this is still a very good team. They're going to be competitive, but I just feel like the end of that window was last year, and we'll see how they can retool in the upcoming years. But I don't see it, man. I don't.
Jesse, I agree 1,000%, bro, and I can relate to the pop situation, bro. That's how I became a diehard Niner fan my whole life. Watching Niner games when I was little, bro, on the floor, watching them running down the hallway, throwing the ball. I used to roll up socks, bro, and run down the hallway and throw a pass to myself like I was Jerry, dog.
Dog, listen, a lot of people don't know this about me, and I've said it. I've said it on the show, but this is not BS. You put a football in my hands, I could throw a football left-handed, probably 30 yards on a tight spiral, lefty, because of Steve Young. Like, I learned to throw left-handed because of Steve Young. Like, every paper I wrote in middle school, if I had to give a presentation, it was on Jerry Rice or Steve Young. Like, that's what I grew up on. So yes, I'm a diehard. I know that I get up here and I'm critical of the team and a lot of people, oh, you're just a fake fan. Nah, F all of that. There's nobody that's going to rip my fan card from me because I know that I've been with this team since a young age and I will always support this team. When that game's on, bro, I'm fanning out. When I'm here, I have to keep it real and just tell you what I'm seeing and try to be logical about it and not fanboy out. But when that game's on, trust me, and I've done a couple games live, nobody's rooting harder for this team than me. I can promise you that.
Period. That's how I feel, Jesse. But you always got to keep it real at the same time, bro. And you know what? That's why I like you so much, bro. And that's why I like Jet. Not to talk about other people's show, but that's why I like you, Ryan, Grant, and Coach particularly, bro. Like I like other people too, bro. I listen to everybody, but you guys, bro, keep it 100, and you guys know how to keep it real instead of just, oh, I'm super Niner faithful, so I'm never gonna say nothing bad about the team. Like, no, bro. Like that's like kind of BS to me. So I don't know, bro. I feel like I don't want to go too doom and gloom. I know you got other callers, but Jesse, look, bro, I love you, big dog. Thank you for having me on. Enjoy the game. Niners, let's go. Listen, we got 14. Hey, I'm gonna give an early prediction, bro. So I ain't so doom and gloom. I got 14 wins.
I love it. Listen, 14 wins means the number one seed, and the number one seed means this team easily could go back to the Super Bowl. So I'm with that, TC. I love it.
All right, doggy. Look, I'll talk to you later, bro. Have a good one.
All right, bro. Have a good one. TC, tapping in, man. Dave Barclay says, fan since 82. If it's scripted, the Niners win this year. listen, bro. Listen, I I wish it were scripted, man. I wish it were scripted. And if it is scripted, I wish it were scripted in the 49ers' favor. Like, golly, dude. The hardest Super Bowl loss for me, the Ravens one sucked. Obviously, last year sucked, but 2019, that's the one that really, really got me because my dad had just passed away and he was a diehard Niner fan. He's the reason I'm a Niner fan. And I was like, this team was not supposed to go to the Super Bowl. Remember, like entering 2019, it was a good team. It was a good team. But we had no idea what was about to happen. And when that team ran off the way that they did, I felt it in my soul. I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's a team of destiny. Like my dad's looking down on this team. You know what I mean? Like those are the feelings that you get as a fan. And it's like, they're going to win the Super Bowl, man. Like how great is this? Like dad passed away, but the Niners are coming through, man. They're coming through for an old fan that's no longer here and me. And, it seemed like it was going to happen. And when they lost that game, dude, I was in Miami in a bar full of 49er fans. I was heartbroken. And I was so mad. My buddy Adam and I, we went down to Miami for the week. Mind you, this is Super Bowl ends like 9-10 o'clock at night. Dude, we wanted to drive back from Miami to Tampa 5 hours that night. We were so over it. We didn't even want to stay in Miami. We ended up staying because it was ridiculous to drive home, but that's the way that we felt. Like it was that much frustration. So I don't know. I mean, people can get frustrated and say I'm not a fan or whatever else. I guess I'm not a fan. Dave says, but I don't think we win a Super Bowl either. Yeah, brother. I mean, it's hard to believe it. It's hard to believe that this team's going to win a Super Bowl after watching heartache loss after heartache loss. So instead of having the expectation they're going to win, I'll just have the expectation they're not. And if they do win, I'll just be super happy that they did, man. That's where I'm at with it. All right, I'm going to go to Fig 909er real quick. What's up, 909er?
Hello?
You got me? Yeah.
Okay, you got me? Can you hear me?
I got you. Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, man. Hey. Yeah, going back to that dude you were talking to earlier, TC. Hey, I felt the same way, man. Like ever since we first drafted BA, and I always thought like, hey, Kyle got to put him in to get his development and get his reps in. You know what I mean? And I always knew he was going to be that dude, that receiver on the squad. And then I was thinking, okay, we can put Ricky Pearsall in. But yeah, if you could put Ricky Pearsall in, it's like, dang, like you could have just done that for BA, But besides all that, the question I was gonna ask that Trent Williams, because I was talking to a buddy of mine earlier, and I guess he heard or seen a rumor that he's gonna be reporting Monday. Is that true?
I don't know about that. I haven't heard that, but just chalk it up to another rumor, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, because all these rumors is going around. Because my buddy, he's a big Pittsburgh fan. Me and him have been going back and forth with this BA situation, man. You know how that go.
Bro, I'll tell you what. I had the best time in Pittsburgh last year, and those fans were incredible. I loved them. The city was beautiful. Everything. I will say throughout this whole BA process, I hate Steeler fan now. Absolutely cannot stand them. Like, they're trolling. It's awful. I hate it.
Dude, that's what my buddy's been doing. He's been trolling a lot. He'll send me this, send me that, DM me this about the Niners. I'm like, bro, you troll a lot. I'm not even said one thing about the Steelers. Not one. But he's been trolling, man. But I've been liking. I've been watching your shows. You and the other dudes. I was watching. Was it yesterday? I think the 4-man front with all you guys. Yeah, that was dope, man. And you guys have me dying at times, man. Like, especially Coach. Coach be having me dying. Like,
he's hilarious, bro. Coach is funny, man. He's a funny dude.
Hey, I see y'all doing your thing, man. Keep that up, man. I keep watching it, man, for real.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you, Fig 909er. Thank you so much for supporting. Enjoy the game, all right, brother?
Oh yeah, I will, man. Hey, I'll be at that week 1. That lands on my birthday. I'll be there, man. I'll be at that game.
Happy birthday. I think you share a birthday with Ricky Pearsall. I think it's his birthday as well.
Oh shoot! No, I didn't. You know what? I didn't even know that. I'm gonna look it up. and then I'm gonna take my son to the SoFi Rams game, man. It's gonna be his first game. So
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Yeah, hopefully I see you there, man. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely, brother. If you see me, come up and say what's up.
Oh, I will, man, for sure.
All right, brother. Have a good one.
Thanks for having me, though, man. Yeah, take care, man. Keep doing your thing. Hey, go Niners, man, all day.
Go Niners, absolutely. I love it, dude. I love his energy. Oh, I love it. Somebody in the chat, everyone's worst nightmare says, how long has Jesse been a Niner fan? I was born in 83. First memory I have of the 49ers, I was actually about 6 years old, and was watching the Chiefs game with my dad. Oddly enough, this is the team they can't get over the hump with. And I was rooting for the Chiefs, but not because I was a fan of the Chiefs, but because they were wearing red and I thought it was the 49ers. And I knew my dad liked the 49ers. And so he had to correct me. He's like, no, not, there are more red teams than just the 49ers. But that was my first memory, like actually caring about football and rooting for somebody on the field. And then my next memory that I really have was being in tears. I think was it 91 that they lost to the Giants? I was young, so I was like 7, 8 years old, whatever. And just being beside myself when they lost to the Giants in the playoffs. So yeah, that's those are like my first memories as 49er fans. My main memories as 49er fans was the 90s, obviously Steve Young. So I love Joe Montana, don't get me wrong, but Steve Young's my guy. He's my quarterback that I grew up on. Absolutely love him. Jerry Rice, that whole regime. Not being able to get over the hump with the Packers was what I remember. Losing to Brett Favre in his back-to-back-to-back MVP years. Everything. Dallas, hating Dallas. That's what I grew up on. Hating Dallas, hating Green Bay, hating Brett Favre, loving Steve Young, loving Jerry Rice, and that whole bunch. So that's the way that I grew up, man. It's the 49ers for sure. I know, dude. I get it. I totally get it. But I do mean this. Anybody who paid attention last year or was around when I was at the Steeler game in week 1 last year, I had nothing but good things to say about Steeler fans and how classy they were. City was gorgeous. I was beside myself. I couldn't believe how nice that city was. I did not know that about Pittsburgh. Beautiful city, beautiful stadium. Fans were amazing in person. But dude, Steeler Twitter over this BA stuff, I might hate them more than Dolphins Twitter. And I can't stand Dolphins Twitter. Cannot stand them. But Steeler Twitter might be a little bit worse. You know how many bets I have with Steeler fans over the fact that BA I think is going to be a Niner and they think he's going to be a Steeler? I've got so many bets in when he signs, not if. When it's announced that he is signed, I'm going to be insufferable to those Steelers fans. And I know that not one of them are going to pay up. I get it. Like, I'm not actually expecting for these guys to pay me money. They don't even have profile pictures. But I will be at their neck. I guarantee it. I will definitely be at their neck. Dave Barclay says, you look so much younger than me, and we're 1 year off. I heard something like the camera takes off 10 years or something. I don't know. Francisco says, Jesse, keep telling the truth, brother. Well done. And that's right. All you are doing is speaking on what has taken place. Lombardi will tell us how this was all a part of the plan. Yeah, listen, I don't know. I don't. Fans can fan how they want. Like, that's the one rule. It's the one rule that you have as a 49er fan is to root for the team when they play. Doesn't matter whether you like a certain player, you don't like a certain player. When that game's happening, you support anybody wearing red and gold. That's it. That's your priority as a fan. That's the obligation for being a fan. But once that game's over, you can discuss the team however the hell you feel like it. And if you want to be a homer, be a homer. If you want to be super pessimistic, be super pessimistic. If you want to be upset about some things and not others, by all means. Like, I'm not here to gatekeep anybody's fandom. I just fan how I want to fan. And you guys should do the same thing. And trust me, this chat's filled with all sorts of opinions. You know how many people are at my neck saying that I'm not a real fan because I won't bend the knee to everything they do? Like, that's how they choose to fan. Let them. I'm not going to take that from you. So there you go. Meow says, ex-Niner fan and proud to be a traitor and troll Jesse. I'll tell you what you can't do as a fan, though. You can't root for two teams. I'm sorry. Like, I'm an NFL fan. I root for players. And if the 49ers are out, then I'll root for other players to succeed. Or if the 49ers aren't in another game, I'll root for another player. I don't get the people that root for two teams, though. Like, genuinely two teams. That I don't understand. Somebody explain that one to me. If anybody's like a fan of two teams, like, how is that possible? And what do you do when those teams play each other? Like, I don't know. Like, my son's a fan of the Ravens. I like Lamar Jackson. If the Ravens are playing, I want him to be happy, right? So I'm like, if the Ravens win, as long as they're not playing the Niners, like, I'm good with that because he's happy. I want him to be happy, but I'm not like actively like upset if the Ravens lose. Like, I don't have a second team to where I'm just like bummed out. Like, I'll be bummed for him, but I'm not, I could care less. Like, oh, well, that sucks. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get the two fan thing. I really don't get the two fan thing. Now, this I do get, like, actively hating another team and rooting against them regardless who they're playing. Okay, I get that. I definitely get that. I have those teams as well. All right. Hold on. Stupid chat. So yes, if anybody's a fan of multiple teams, please let me know. Oh, this is cool, man. First time listener of the show, says he loves the show. Thanks, coach. Appreciate you. The coach. Want to get that right. Hopefully you stick around. If you could hit like for me, subscribe, it goes a long way. Really appreciate you. And call in sometime. Introduce yourself. That'd be really cool. Thank you for listening for the first time. I appreciate that. Dave Barclay says, grew up with the same memories, was wearing red and gold in the crib. I was pretty much forced into it, but it was a great generation to be a fan. And you're right. Hard to approve new decisions. Trade Kyle. Yeah, listen, Dave. I mean, I've got pictures of me in middle school with 49ers starter jackets. I've got pictures of my sister who's about 10 years younger than me in a Steve Young jersey because that's what I asked my dad to buy for her when she was born. I've got pictures of my oldest rather, who's about to be 12 in October in a 49er onesie, 49er booties, 49er binky, and I'm holding him with a faithful shirt, looking super young because 12 years ago was a long time ago. I was only 28. Damn, I wish I was young again. So yeah, man, I mean, it's always been there. It's certainly always been there. The proof's there. But people get like so territorial. Like it's one thing if you want to just be a homer and love everything the 49ers do, but don't like try to take the credibility of somebody else who's a fan because you don't like how they fan. Like, that's weird. That's weird to me. Trying to rip somebody's fan card from them, like that's strange. How's that possible? Explain that one to me. Explain to me how you root for two teams and explain to me how you rip somebody's fan card. Curious. Dave Barclay says, I had a starter jacket and the original gold one. Ooh, that's fire. Remember the, what was the other one? It was starter and it was it parkas? And they both had like the side zips. Remember, you could zip them up the side. They had the front pouch. There was like two jackets or two brands making those jackets back in the day. Maybe one like had the NBA license and one had the NFL license. I'm not sure, but I do remember those jackets. Yeah, they were In fact, I think I posted a picture of me in that jacket on Twitter like 2 years ago. I guarantee it's probably still there. I was in a starter jacket. So there you go. Proline. That's what it was. There you go. Proline. Yes. Did one of them have like the NBA license and one of them had an NFL license? I don't remember how that went. But yes, starter jackets and pro lines. Yes, there it is. Pro lines. Nice. Nice. Well done. Well done. Apex 2. Yeah. I feel like I remember that one. I don't know. I don't remember. But they were lit. That's why I love you guys, true fans. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people in the chat that are way younger than us that are going, what the hell is this guy talking about? Like, what the F is a starter jacket that's a pullover with zips? You were like super dope too. Like, you always left the sides unzipped, right? Like, you didn't zip down the sides. Those were always unzipped. That's what made you cool. So you had to unzip the sides. Baggy, super baggy pants, of course, because that was definitely the look. For all you white guys in the chat, definitely had undercuts, I'm sure, because that was cool. Like, what the hell, dude? We can all agree Dallas stinks. Yes, we can. What if Trent Taylor? What if it's Trent Taylor, Jess? What if who's Trent Taylor? What are we talking about? Why do you have to bring up Trent Taylor when we're having a good time, Ryan? That's what I want to know. Dave Barclay says, dude, starter jackets with the front pouch, fire. They came back out with them not too long ago. I really wanted to get one. I didn't, but I really wanted to get one. I know, dude. What a buzzkill, Ryan. Oh, Trent Taylor. All right, y'all, listen. I got to put my kids to bed before this game at 10 o'clock. Get to enjoy it. I hope all of you enjoy the game as well. Go 49ers. I think actually go check out Ryan's channel after the game. I think Ryan's going to be live. He's a West Coast guy, even though he tried to be a buzzkill with the Trent Taylor comment. And then go check out Coach's, the new guy, Coach, the Coach's Huddle. Go check out his channel. He should be live for the game itself. I think so. This guy here, the new guy. So yeah, go check him out. I think he'll be live for the game. And then right after the game, go check out Ryan. And then, of course, Grant, all the people, go show them love. Much love to each one of you. Hope you enjoy the game. Let's pray for health. Let's pray for health first and foremost. We need this team to be healthy coming out of this game. And let's see how they look. Let's see how the boys look. We'll talk to y'all soon. Have a good weekend. Peace.